Japanese breakfast looks healthy and great, but I just don't have time for this. To challenge myself, I'm going to make rice, soup, and 2 side dishes within 20 minutes without using any heat. They are all plant-based, so I hope everyone will enjoy it. This video is sponsored by Boxu. We're gonna chat more about that later. For now, let's make some delicious breakfast. Let me show you the ingredients first. We have a broccoli, canned corn, cucumber, garlic, miwa, which is a family of ginger, tofu, chopped spring onion, ginger, and garlic. We also need a amani oil, which is high in omega-3 fat, toasted sesame oil, soy sauce, miso paste, mine is a yellow miso, and comstock powder. If you are not familiar with the Japanese condiments, please watch my pantry essential video to get more ideas, linked in the description box below. We're gonna begin by prepping the miso soup. In a bowl, add a quarter teaspoon of comstock powder, broccoli, blanched for 20 seconds. You can also use frozen one too. Just make sure to thaw them in advance, followed by canned corn. I scoop about 2 tablespoons of it, but add as much or little as you want. In my opinion, when we are busy, especially in the morning, it's okay to lean on the canned stuff or frozen items. If you guys have any hack to productive in the kitchen, let me know in the comment section below. And finally, drop about 1 tablespoon of miso paste. Depending on the miso you are opting for, the sodium content will be higher or lower. If it's too salty, feel free to add less miso paste or just dilute with more water. Set it aside for now. Next up, cucumber garlicky salad. I have an Asian cucumber, wash it under the faucet, wipe off the water. You can use any kind of cucumber, but I feel like Asian cucumber are crunchier than the thicker ones, so I love to use this type. Place cucumber on a cutting board and sprinkle about half teaspoon of sea salt. Roll it back and forth as you rub them. This process will help to keep the vibrant green color of cucumber, plus decrease the certain glassy taste. However, I assume not many of you have time for this, including myself, so feel free to omit this entire process. I just wanted to show you how we do it in fancy in Japanese cooking. Rinse the salt and dry with a kitchen towel or cloth. Now it's the fun part. Cut the cucumber with a rolling pin or using the flat side of the knife. The goal of this procedure is to break down the cucumber roughly so that it will absorb the seasonings easily. This is a good stress reliever. I'm glad my face is not included in this part as I might look insane. You can see the surface is quite rough, so this will carry the dressing when you bite it. Then chop it into bite-sized pieces. Set it aside. For the dressing, we're just gonna mix 2 cloves of grated garlic, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, plus optional 1 pinch of salt. 2 cloves of garlic is not suitable for breakfast, especially if you are meeting someone, so feel free to swap for ginger or pickled plum. I have a similar recipe using pickled plum. Again, the link is in the description box below. If you are sensitive to the pungency, just use 1 clove of garlic. Give it a good mix. All we left is tossing cucumber in the dressing right before we serve it. By the way, I always have this garlic and ginger already grated. It's not as flavorful as fresh from, but very convenient to have when you are in a hurry. Before we move on to the next recipe, I wanna introduce you some Japanese snacks. I'm teaming up with a company called Boxu. Boxu will deliver the Japanese snacks from Japan to your front door. They work with the traditional Japanese factories over 100 years old to provide you with unique snacking experiences. This time I got this Seasons of Japan box, which you will receive it as a first box. There are more than 15 snacks in one box, carefully curated from all over Japan, along with this cultural guide leaflet showing products' origin, ingredients, and even common knowledges. Every month they will come up with a different theme. You will have something new to enjoy every month, which is so exciting. I'm not a snacky person usually, but those are much needed to nourish my soul and for the fun afternoon activity with my family. You know sometimes how certain food, music, and scent transport us to faraway places. This is definitely the one allowing you to connect a little more to Japan.
これさママがさ昔さちっちゃい頃食べたやつ
If you are interested, get 10% off your Japanese snack box from Boxu and save up to $47 using my coupon code Miwa10, linked in the description box below. Okay, let's go back to the next recipe. Tofu salad is called hiyayakko in Japanese. It's very simple. Finely chopped myoga. Myoga is a family of ginger. It's not a pungent at all, but has a very refreshing crunchy texture. It's abundant in summer. If you don't find a myoga where you live, just leave it out. Chopped spring onion. I always have this in the fridge pre-chopped so that I can just sprinkle in the coming days. Add more greens anytime. Now it's time to assemble everything. Place tofu on the plate. I prefer silken tofu for this recipe because of the creaminess of tofu. But as always, use what you have. Tofu just slipped out from the package and accidentally landed on the plate. It's kinda nicely presented, so I decided to leave it diagonally like this. Top it with the chopped myoga, followed by spring onion. Presentation is a part of the beauty of Japanese cooking, and also I think it's the way of showing appreciation to the people you are serving to, so I try to do as much as possible. Garnish a tiny bit of grated ginger at the end. Remember, we can top pretty much anything. Just make sure to add a crunchy factor as opposed to the silken tofu. The cucumber and dressing has been chilled in the fridge. Time to toss all together. It's the best when it's chilled for this salad. If you want to make it ahead of time, just make sure to keep the cucumber and dressing separately, otherwise it will get too soggy if it's left out for a long time. Serve it on the plate and garnish some shredded chili pepper if you want, or alternatively, sprinkle toasted sesame seeds. The rice usually takes the longest to cook. What I do is that I cook a big batch on the weekend and keep it in a small container when the rice is still hot, then freeze it. In the morning, reheat it in the microwave or in the steamer. This will save you heaps of time in the kitchen. I usually mix seeds and beans into the rice as I said in the Healthy Habits video. If you don't have a rice cooker, I have a tutorial making rice in a pot, so please watch another video linked in the description box below. And for the miso soup, to boost even more aroma, I add nori seaweed, tearing it by hand. Seaweed is a great source of iodine. If you don't want it to be too seaweedy, please skip this process. For tofu salad, drizzle some soy sauce followed by your favorite oil. I use amani oil, which is a high in omega-3 fat. I try to include a good source of fat into my dishes. If you can tolerate fish, sprinkle some bonito flakes to boost more flavor. And finally, pour the boiling hot water over the miso soup and mix it until the miso paste is fully dissolved. If you don't have a kombu stock powder, use any stock you have on hand or soak kombu in the water for overnight and heat it up and pour. I showed miso bowl, which is a homemade instant miso soup. This will help to make a miso soup into a ritual. Speaking of which, in order to cook and eat healthy daily, it has to be easy and quick enough. Plus, taste good to feel rewarded. So please start with one dish you might be able to try. Maybe trying making a miso soup. Once it becomes your custom, then try another dish. Break down the steps which are more achievable for you. I hope today's recipe is easy enough for you to get try in your kitchen. It doesn't have to be for breakfast, probably for dinner when you got more time to prepare. And thanks again Boxu for sponsoring this video, and my family really enjoyed these snacks, Japanese snacks. So if you guys want to try out, please use the coupon code. You guys gonna get a 10% off from your purchase. So happy snacking! Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye, mata ne!